Hey everybody, it's Mike at digitalnomad.net talking about relationships again here and the changes and the relationship wars, the battle of the sexes. Men are going their own way. Is that what's happening? Let's watch and find out.
A point to where they're walking away and they don't mind being alone. Y'all have
Men are
messed
doing.
it up. Women, a lot of us have messed it up. And like I said, even surprisingly to me, like I was noticing and seeing so many men, like, I desire family. I desire commitment. I desire marriage. I desire to have a woman. I want to provide for a woman, take care of a family. Like, men have been wanting that. But now you're starting to see more and more men become more and more comfortable with the idea of not having any of that, because men are valuing and desiring their peace over everything else.
She's absolutely right. And it's so sad that that's the point that men have had to come to, where they are unable to engage in relationships. And
Okay, now what she's talking about here, I think, are just the fact that if women have evolved to the point where they can do their own thing without men, and they are doing better in school, they are doing better in the workplace in their 20s at least, and they can't find any men to be hypergamous with who are doing better than them. And the men are just hearing nonstop complaints. They want to be with somebody, but I guess they can't find anybody. I guess that's where this is going. Let's find out.
pursuing what they want, whether it be marriage and children, or they've at least had to abandon that ideal, the desire to have that, because it's just not worth it. And on the flip side, I have to say good for them for putting their peace first, because you shouldn't have to compromise on your inner peace, your inner comfortability with your existence, just to have more people in your life,
And a lot of this is also related around the fertility crisis. We're below replacement rate, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. A lot of men have just totally exited the dating market. I think that the men exiting the dating market, though, in my opinion, is just a temporary reaction to the changes that are taking place. I do think, as I've said in many videos, that what's going to happen is men are going to be taught to not even enter the dating market until they're 35 or 40, because that's when they are most valuable in the dating market. That's when they've achieved what they need to achieve if they want to be in a long-term relationship, if they want to have kids. Women are most valuable in the dating market 21, 22. So they'll be taught that they need to hurry up and they need to get married and pregnant if they want to have a good, stable, experience with that.
It's not worth it. Peace is so important. So, I understand why we've got into this situation, but I'm still really sad about it, because it does mean that the sexes are further apart. People aren't going to come together anymore because there's that lack of trust. Men aren't trusting women because why should they? Because of the women that have messed up, because of the women that have caused us to get to this point where we are. And it's really sad, because it just means that so many people's lives are being wasted having to weigh up what's more important, having a family or having peace.
Okay, are you seeing this where you are? I'm just curious that men are exiting the dating market, because we already know that if people are just dating in their 20s, let's say, only like a couple % of the men are getting all the women because they have these certain look, certain height, certain income, everything else, certain pictures, and most all the men don't. And all the women see what's out there, and women want everything, and they want to be hypergamous, so they only want those. And I guess if these women end up with somebody and it's not who they really wanted, they're going to be upset about that till the end of time also. And maybe men are catching wind of all this, because I don't think that men are really talking so much. I see a few YouTube channels, other things going on talking about this. Obviously, this is a woman's channel that's talking about this. I have seen men, but they're not really approaching it in this angle. And by the way, the video, if you want to watch the whole video, is down below in the description.
And that shouldn't even be a thing. The two should be going hand in hand. You should be able to find peace in your family. Obviously not all the time, right? Let's be realistic here. But you should be able to have peace of mind, at least, within your family unit and your family structure, and be happy that you've made the choice to have a wife and children.
Okay, so what she's talking about here too, just to clarify, is long-term relationship, maybe marriage, with producing biological children between the two. That's what she's talking about, and that men have stopped looking for that specifically.
It's disgusting and devastating that unfortunately now peace and family no longer are one and the same, and that's really, really sad.
While it lasts.
Making these good men not want to be good men. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. Can you? Can you? I mean, I know physically I can take care of myself. I've been on my own since I was 17. Do I want to take care of myself all the time? No. Do I want to be independent all the time? No, I don't. Do I want to take care of somebody? Yes, I do. Do I want to make sure dinner is cooked and laundry is done and contributing to the household and taking care of the kids? Yes. Yes, I do. And then we got all you waffles out here ruining good men. They don't want to be good men because of feminists.
Yeah, because of feminists, because of damaged individuals, because of women who have no self-awareness whatsoever, and they think that they can go around
just so
treating...
you know, this channel is extremely conservative. She is extremely conservative. I try not to get into politics as much as I possibly can because we usually end up in the middle anyway. And so that's what they're doing. They're blaming feminism on why men are walking away in general. And I would say in general, they're probably correct because, well, I don't even need to say anything other than the birth rate is plummeting and we may cease to exist as a species if this continues and we don't turn it around.
Men like objects. You know, it's funny because it's the same women that preach about not wanting to be objectified that objectify men. They objectify men down to what can you provide for me? What monetary gain do you...
Yeah, or they're upset. And it's because of all this ubiquitous online entertainment. They see all these other men that are better that they wish they would have had. I know she's not saying that here, but I'm saying it because that's a big factor here. And because of that, they'll never be satisfied. They'll always be pissed off and feel like they were slighted, et cetera, et cetera. This is one of the reasons why social media in the short form content and other things, the Instagram face and everything is creating so many people with mental illness and depression. It's because of this dynamic.
You add to my life, you know, what are you bringing me? And often it's money. Otherwise it might be status. And they just treat men like objects. What are you bringing to me? They don't understand that a relationship is a two-way street. They don't understand that they have to be able to offer something too. They don't understand that. So they treat men like objects. They abuse men, quite frankly. Treat them like, oh, well, you just need to get on with it because you're a man.
I would say there's definitely some truth to that.
Treat them awfully and then just run around onto the next one. And slowly but surely, they're just destroying the pool of genuine good men who want to protect and provide because they have no self-awareness, or perhaps they...
The other part of this internet thing is the short-term dopamine hits and that being hijacked in the average individual, and it's going to create and feed into this dynamic as well to both men and women. All right. And yeah, men are ultimately opting out of this, I think, and staying at home in the matrix and gaming and whatever else they're doing. But they're still being negatively impacted by this part of it, that the short attention span, the ruining. This is what the internet has destroyed. That the internet has the matrix, and AI is taking over. You don't even know it's doing it to you, but it is, and that's definitely a factor here, in my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
They do, and they're just complete psychopaths, and they don't care. They don't care who they destroy in their journey of chaos.
I don't like finding out that a guy doesn't like me anymore. That he's like over me. What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean you're over me? Like you've moved on? That's not how this works. That's not how this works, okay? I was supposed to go my whole life knowing in the back of my mind that you still like me, okay? I was supposed to think that every time I saw you, your heart did a little pitter-patter, okay? Now you've moved on? What does that mean? That's not possible. I don't understand.
The narcissism here is off the scale. Now, I don't know if she's being satirical, and do you know what? I think I've seen enough TikToks now of these type of women to know that she's not. I think part of my brain just wants to think like maybe she's like making a joke here. Like maybe she knows how ridiculous she sounds. She's just making a joke about it, because I kind of want to believe that. I kind of want to believe that it isn't as bad.
So maybe what she's saying here is that, women have reached a point in society where they're so much in charge that there's going to be a significant percentage of men that aren't going to want to even deal with that. They don't want that. I guess, traditionally that was not there. And that could be good and bad, because some of these women, maybe that's what they want to do. Maybe that's what they should do. Others are going to, I guess, torpedo all the relationships going forward because of that and not realizing it. And a lot of this also, I think, is maybe we're at late stage capitalism. We're at late stage human race numbers. They're starting to dwindle. Late stage feminism, maybe even. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. But I think I'm going to stop this video here, because I don't know how much further it's going to go beyond this. And you kind of get the idea. But you also have heard, what I say about this topic, and where I think things are going. So let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.